Hello and welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all Pennsylvania students, sponsored by the Pennsylvania Association for College Admission Counseling and StriveScan. PACAC is a nonprofit association comprised of more than 1,200 school counselors, college admission counselors, independent education consultants, and other professionals responsible for guiding students through the important transition from high school to post-secondary options. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at pacac.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at that same website, pacac.org. And now I'd like to turn it over to our presenter, Alex.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Appreciate the kind introduction, Mary, really appreciate that. Glad everyone is here, either if you're joining us in person today at the end of October, or if you are joining us after this is taped and you're joining us at another time. Either way, we are excited that you are here. Wanted to just give a quick introduction of myself before we dive into this, and then I'll talk a little bit about St. Mary's College, and certainly throughout this, if there's questions or at the end, would love to get any questions that you all may have that are out there. My name is Alex Bauer. I've been working at St. Mary's College for actually about 7 years now. Time does indeed fly when you are having fun. 7 years at St. Mary's, and I've been working with the state of Pennsylvania for really the last 3 years at St. Mary's College, working with the state of Pennsylvania. Really have enjoyed my time in the state. I also work with our local students here in Notre Dame, Indiana, the northern Indiana area. I also work with students from the state of California, so I feel really fortunate that I get to work with students truly from just about coast to coast. I think that's really, really exciting. I am not a graduate myself, but my wife is actually a graduate of the college, so I oftentimes will talk about her experiences, and I'll certainly share some experiences and maybe some stories of our current students on campus as well. A little bit about St. Mary's College. If you've never heard of us before, maybe you're here learning for the first time, welcome. St. Mary's College, we are located in Notre Dame, Indiana. If you get on the toll road, or the turnpike and take I-80 west, you'll get off, it's about central Indiana, right off I-80, so not too terrible of a drive, especially if you're in western PA, the Pittsburgh area. Some families do make the trip over via car from the Philly area or eastern PA, but certainly that could be a flight as well. So very much reachable at St. Mary's in Notre Dame, Indiana. The college itself is a relatively small institution, about 1,600 students on campus at St. Mary's College, provides our students really small class sizes. That's one of the reasons why students come to St. Mary's. I get asked that question, why do students come? I would say, well, they love those small class sizes. If you really want to connect with your faculty members, this is a place for you. If you really want to connect with your fellow students, this can be a place for you with, again, that undergraduate population of about 1,600 students. As the name suggests, we are a Catholic institution and proud to be so. Certainly don't have to be Catholic in order to attend. We'll talk about some faith-based opportunities. Perhaps our most unique feature as an institution is the fact that we are a women's college as well. So between the size and the makeup of the student body at St. Mary's and the fact that we're a women's college, definitely some unique characteristics, and I look forward to sharing more of those with all of you throughout our time today. Where do students come from? I know some students think, Indiana, maybe I've never been there, maybe I went to Chicago one time, but who goes to St. Mary's College? Really, just about anybody and everybody comes to St. Mary's College. We're only about a third in-state, so the majority of our students are coming from exciting places like Pennsylvania, but we also get students from Texas, Florida, up and down the East Coast, Nebraska, everywhere in between. And I think that's really exciting because if you're a little bit nervous maybe about going out of state, if you're a little bit nervous maybe about maybe going to a new state or lake location that you're not familiar with, I think it's really nice to know that the majority of the students are going to be like you, that they're a few hours away from home, if not a few plane rides away from home. I think that's really nice that you are in the majority coming out of state. Students come from all over the place, and they come from a wide variety of background. But 20% of our students do come from underrepresented populations, and we're really excited that that population is growing on campus. Also, from a first-generation student standpoint, over a quarter of our students are the first in their family to go to the campus, to go to college, and we're really excited to be offering those opportunities for those students. And again, students come to St. Mary's with a wide variety of interests, a wide variety of backgrounds. And that's one of the reasons, again, why I think St. Mary's provides such a rich experience for our students. I'm going to focus on this word individualized, and I'm really going to kind of get into the academic piece, right? That's why we go to college, is the academics at St. Mary's. And I'd like to use that word individualized. I'll probably use that a few times throughout this little conversation this afternoon. I mentioned that we're a small campus community, and again, that really provides that one-on-one experience with your faculty, with your staff, with your fellow students. We have a wide variety of academic offerings at St. Mary's. Really anything that you can think of, we probably have. If you are interested in going into the medical field, students often say, I'm not sure exactly what, maybe it's nursing, maybe it's med school, medical something. We absolutely have those opportunities on campus. We do have a fantastic nursing program at St. Mary's and a really strong biology program at St. Mary's, again, kind of serving that purpose of kind of a pre-med type track. If you're more into the arts, say that STEM is not for me, I want to go more into the arts. We have some strong visual and performing arts programs at St. Mary's College as well. Business is a really strong program. Communication is a really strong program. Psychology is a really strong program as well at St. Mary's College. It's probably one of our more growing areas on campus. We recently just added a neuroscience degree on campus, so that psychology area and neuroscience is very much growing. Last but certainly not least, if I had to kind of round out a top 4, 5, 6 majors on campus, education has always been a flagship program for us. We're nationally accredited from an education standpoint. So again, if you're thinking about being an educator at any level, St. Mary's can be a home for you. So while we have all of those opportunities open, again, this individualized experience is really what we're all about. No two students have the same path at St. Mary's College. So even if you're 2 nursing majors, you're going to have different courses, right? Because maybe you're going to be working with different people. Maybe one of you wants to work in a NICU facility. Maybe one of you wants to work in a long-term care facility. Maybe one of you have more of a STEM background already. Maybe some of you are coming from a different background as well. So I think different experiences for our students to have. It's also very easy for students to plug and play different major and minor combinations. Again, your paths are going to be different because maybe some of you are just going to be nursing majors and some of you are going to be nursing majors with a few minors on top of it. Really is easy to custom make your own experience at St. Mary's from an academic standpoint. Part of that is, again, that's campus community and the size that we offer, but also students don't need to declare a major till the end of their sophomore year. So if you're out there and you're undecided, or you're thinking, well, maybe nursing, but I also think business, or you think, well, I like art, but I also like accounting, that's okay. You have up until the end of your sophomore year before you have to declare a major at St. Mary's. And again, you have lots of time to figure it out. And even once you figure it out, again, it's very easy to plug and play different major minor combinations, whether that's for a professional reason, meaning I want these sets of skills to go onto that graduate program, or I need this set of skills to go get that job, or whether it's just for fun. You see a lot of students, again, bringing different interests to campus, and they say, I want to be an accountant, but I need music in my life, or I want to be a business major, oh, but I love theater, or I want to go to med school, but I love dance. You see it very often at St. Mary's, where students will have kind of a career path as a major, but then they have that minor or that double major that's kind of their personal passion as well. So what I enjoy about that, again, individualized experience at St. Mary's, is that it allows our students to have that career path. Yes, we want you to be successful. Yes, we want you to get a job, but you shouldn't have to give up those hobbies, interests, those personal passions that you have on the side just to pursue that career. Hopefully there's some similarities and there's some little overlap between the personal passions and the career. But again, that individualized experience that we offer at St. Mary's really, again, allows students to have some fun with their academic experience and to get a really good, well-rounded education while they're at St. Mary's College. I mentioned that we are a women's college and proud to be so. For a lot of students, when they hear a women's college, we oftentimes are the only women's college that students are looking at, or we're one of a few women's colleges that they are looking at. Most of our students at St. Mary's do come from co-ed high schools. So if you are coming from one of those co-ed high schools and say, a women's college, I'm a little uneasy about it, that's okay. Again, the majority of our students are coming from co-ed high schools at St. Mary's College. Can a women's college prepare me for the co-ed world? That is a question that I get regularly. Can a women's college prepare me for a co-ed world? And the answer is absolutely yes, without question. I think these stats kind of share some of that proof that yes, students absolutely do graduate and are successful and are prepared to go on to get those graduate degrees, to go on and get those great careers and get those great jobs after they leave St. Mary's. One of the unique things about a women's college environment, I always ask students to close their eyes and imagine a learning environment where the most competitive person in the room, they're all women. The strongest GPA, the lowest GPA. The most talkative person and the quietest person, they're all women in the room. Every leadership role on campus is held by a woman. So as you're growing and developing personally and professionally, you're learning from and in this really unique learning lab that is really built for and by women. So it is definitely a really unique environment. One of the things that I've noticed, like I said, I've been at St. Mary's now for a couple of years. It's been really fun to see. Sometimes students come in freshman year, and again, they're a little uneasy, a little nervous about what the women's college is going to look like and feel like. Nervous to start off, but then when I talk to those same students, 3-4 years later, as they're coming into junior year and senior year, and I'm saying, what are you thinking? I remember talking to you and you were a little bit nervous about it. What do you think now? And they say it's the best part of St. Mary's College, and I would not have changed it for the world. So I think that's really, really exciting to see that growth and some of our students really enjoying that women's college environment as, again, one of the cornerstone experiences of St. Mary's. Again, this idea of will St. Mary's prepare me for a career, for life after college? Don't I have to go to the big university? Don't I have to go to that big state school in order to get a job and to go to grad school? And the answer is absolutely not. Our students absolutely are getting jobs. Our students absolutely are going to fantastic programs. And again, I mentioned that our students come from all over the place. So where are our students getting jobs? Everywhere. Where are our students going to grad school? Everywhere, right? As much as a native Hoosier myself here in the state of Indiana, as much as I'd love it if all of our students stayed right here in their home state, the fact of the matter is they don't, right? They head back to the East Coast, they head back to the West Coast, they go back to their own hometowns, or they move somewhere else and adopt a new hometown. And I think that's really exciting. If you look at the graduate schools down there at the bottom, some students do stay at St. Mary's, students go across the street to Notre Dame, again, East Coast, West Coast, or internationally for graduate programs. Now, the other thing I enjoy about our students at St. Mary's is that they oftentimes are very service oriented. It's not just, I want to get a job and make a lot of money. That's important, right? We want you, yes, to get a job and be successful in life. But most of our students, if you interviewed them and said, what's success after St. Mary's look like for you? They'd say a job, but they'd say, I also want to make a difference in the world. And so what I enjoy is that, yes, of course, we have students that are getting jobs and internships at those big name companies that you see on the screen there, Google, Cleveland Clinic, and all those other great kind of big name companies that you see. But we also have students that, again, are educators in their local school districts. We have students that, again, adopt a new hometown and are working for their local church or their local diocese. And those are just as important and just as exciting for me as a member of the St. Mary's community, as a student who goes and gets that great job at the big name company. I think that's really exciting that, again, our students are not just about hurry up and get me a job. They say, hey, I want to get a job, but I also want to make a difference in the world. And I think that's really, really exciting for our students at St. Mary's. I've been talking a lot about our campus community. That's certainly why you're here today, hopefully. But there is another kind of few other factors that play into what is St. Mary's and what is this experience going to look and feel like for you. I mentioned that we're in Notre Dame, Indiana, that's our address. And where does that Notre Dame, Indiana come from? That is from the fact that we have some neighbors immediately to our south and right across the street to us to our east. And that is the University of Notre Dame and Holy Cross College as well. So there's this tri-campus community, these three campuses that truly share a border, and a lot of great opportunities, both academically and outside the classroom as well. I always very proudly say that our students at St. Mary's are proud to be Bells. That's what we are. We're the St. Mary's Bells, and our students are excited to be St. Mary's students. You see a lot of St. Mary's gear on campus. You see a lot of French crosses around campus and on sweatshirts and whatnot. There are students at St. Mary's that don't like football. There are students at St. Mary's that don't need marching band in their life or hockey in their life, and that's okay. There are students that say, you know what, I don't need to go to the big university, and that's okay. I proudly say that we are self-sufficient and we are independent institutions, Notre Dame, St. Mary's, and Holy Cross. So it's not that you need or have to go to the other institutions, but there's also students at St. Mary's that say, you know what, I'm kind of excited about the big university. You know what, I'm kind of excited about football. I'm kind of excited about tailgating and basketball and hockey and marching band and things like that. Can I be over at Notre Dame every single day of the week? And the answer is just as much yes. So I really enjoy that connection to Notre Dame and to Holy Cross College is truly what you want it to be. If that's every day of the week, great, you can do that. If it's just 6 weekends a year for football games, great, you can do that. If that's never because it's not your scene, that's also okay. So I really enjoyed that connection to Notre Dame is truly what you want it to be. But it is an option for our students, so I do always like to mention it because it does add kind of a nice extra layer to what is available for our students. So from an academic standpoint, again, back to that word individualized, right? I'm going to bring that up again. If there's maybe a unique class that you need for a graduate program, or maybe you have an interest in a certain language that we don't offer at St. Mary's, but Notre Dame or Holy Cross College has those opportunities, you can take academic classes over at Notre Dame and at Holy Cross because they, again, have programs that we don't have, and we have programs that Notre Dame and Holy Cross don't have. So we do share academics between the three campuses. So it is really nice that you basically get to open up 3 different course books as opposed to 1 course book between the 3 campuses. Again, different learning environments between the 3 campuses and different academic offerings between the 3 campuses. Much more than just academics, though, certainly that is an important piece, including our engineering program, which partners with Notre Dame if you are interested in engineering. A great opportunity there. But again, outside the classroom, plenty going on our campus. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But if you are excited, again, about the marching band, if you watched the game or will be watching some of the home games at Notre Dame, and you're looking at the marching band, they're in the stands this year. There's about 50 St. Mary's women in the Notre Dame marching band this year. Which is pretty much the norm. Again, a good number of students, St. Mary's women, are in the Notre Dame marching band every year. Our students go to the football games, our students go to the hockey games, things like that. Students have the opportunity to, again, have that big university feel. They have the opportunity to have that co-ed environment right across the street. Any club or activity is open for St. Mary's students across the street. So I think that's really exciting that you have the academic experience, but also that outside the classroom experience as well. And again, I reiterate that it is an option. It is not mandatory. You do not need to go to Notre Dame, but if you want to, it is literally right across the street if you've never been there. Again, I'm oftentimes asked, how long is the bus ride or how long is the train ride to get to the other campuses? And I say, no, you just walk. It literally is across the street. So a really great opportunity for our students to have Notre Dame and Holy Cross College and be a part of that tri-campus community. I mentioned there's plenty to do on our campus in addition to what's going on across the street and at Holy Cross College as well at Notre Dame. Plenty going on our campus, though. Again, our students come from all over the place, so students don't go home at night, right? You can't just jump back to Philly or go back to Harrisburg for the weekend or go back to LA for a day, right? So students don't go home at night. Students don't go home on the weekends, right? Our students are on campus pretty much all the time. So there's always something going on campus. I mentioned that we are a Catholic institution, so if you are Catholic or want to explore the Catholic faith, there are some great faith-based opportunities on campus. It is optional. You are not required, of course, to take part in anything outside the classroom from that standpoint, but a lot of great faith-based opportunities. Catholic Mass is said daily on campus, different chapels on campus. What that picture is, that is our full church on campus, Our Lady of Loretto. It's actually a church in the round, so definitely a unique and beautiful space there. Service, that picture and that word, I mentioned that our students tend to be very service oriented. The majority of our students are doing some type of service while they're at St. Mary's. Again, that is built into the kind of the culture at St. Mary's College that it's not just again, a job, just a stepping stone. It's, let's make a difference in the world, and students do that through service, whether that's on campus, just do a quick little fundraiser. Maybe I'm busy, maybe I'm a varsity athlete, maybe I have something else going on, I don't have a whole lot of time. Maybe that's just a small thing on campus. Maybe that's getting into our local community, the greater South Bend, the greater Indiana area with some service activities. Students absolutely do domestic and international mission trips and service trips as well. So there's a lot of great service opportunities if that's something that you're interested in. It really is just a matter of finding an organization, find something that you're passionate about, and finding the time to make that happen. There's really a number of different opportunities there. If you are an athlete out there today, we are Division III NCAA athletics at St. Mary's College. That means that we don't give academic scholarships, athletic scholarships, excuse me. I'm going to touch on our academic scholarships, which more than make up for that. But we are D3 NCAA athletics. Club sports and intramural sports are alive and well on campus as well. So again, if you're not a varsity athlete, but club and intramural sports are more your speed, a lot of great opportunities there as well. Really a super active campus, a super involved campus, really anything that you might expect to see on any other college campus, we probably have. Everything from a ski and snowboard club to a robotics team, we've got it all on campus. So definitely, again, a very active campus environment, definitely a really unique campus environment. I've talked about St. Mary's College, I've talked about the tri-campus community. Let's say you really want to get out off of campus, right? You really want to go far. Study abroad is a big piece of the St. Mary's experience for a lot of our students. It's actually just a little over half of our students do study abroad at St. Mary's. It's not a requirement. You don't have to, but again, if this is something that you want as part of your St. Mary's experience, I am confident in saying 100% absolutely all St. Mary's students can study abroad. Maybe I'm a nurse, you can study abroad. Maybe I'm an engineer or a business major or an accounting major or an education major. You can study abroad at St. Mary's College. Maybe I don't know any language. Maybe I've never been abroad before. You can study abroad. I'm really confident in saying that. We have programs all over the world, literally, and we have programs that fit a wide variety of student schedules. So some of our programs are full year programs where you're gone an entire academic year. Some of them are over a semester, some are over a summer, some are over a spring break. Some of them are full immersion experiences where you do have language proficiency requirements. If you're a little more adventurous and want to take on one of those, that's really exciting for a lot of our students. But again, if you don't have any language proficiency, maybe you've never been abroad before, maybe you just have a little bit more time. We do have some experiences that are a little more St. Mary's focused. You'll be going to class with St. Mary's students, taking classes from St. Mary's faculty members. Classes are going to be taught in English, but yet you're still abroad. So some really great opportunities to study abroad. Again, not mandatory unless you're a global studies major, then it is, but outside of the global studies major, it is not a requirement for students at St. Mary's College. A little bit about the admission process here at St. Mary's College. Whether you are a senior and you are in the throes of it right now, I know we've already seen a number of applications, which is really exciting for us at St. Mary's, or whether you are a junior or sophomore, maybe you're getting an early start as a freshman, or you're a parent or a counselor out there. I think this is never too early to have an idea of what the application process looks like. For us at St. Mary's, we're on the Common App. We're a free application for all students at St. Mary's and have been for a couple of years now. There's a few different paths that you have. Again, that word individualized, I'm going to bring that up one more time. You kind of start that individualized experience with the application process. A lot of different choices on what type of application process is going to be best for you. Your first choice you have is between early decision or regular decision. Really, that decision plays into how excited are you about St. Mary's. Early decision is typically for a student who says, I love it. St. Mary's, I'm all about it. You're my top choice. That's going to be an early decision student. If you're going to be applying to St. Mary's and a number of other institutions and really putting them all on the table, those acceptance letters, we only talk about acceptance letters, putting them all out on the kitchen table, that is a regular decision student. I always stress that both of these decision processes are going to give you the same answer. I proudly say that we really get to know our students, we really get to know our applicants, and you are not going to be helped or hurt by applying early or late. We review every student the exact same way. We review every student with her merits. It's not a matter of just a GPA. It's not a matter of when did or didn't you apply. It's not a matter of a test score. We really work to get to know our students, and I'm really excited about that fact. Makes it a lot of fun as an admission counselor. What do we look for on that common application? We will look at your entire high school transcript, right? Freshman year, sophomore year, junior year. Seniors out there, keep up the good work. We do look for a strong senior year, both in rigor and in performance. We have a really strong writing curriculum at St. Mary's. So even if I'm going to be a math major, even if you're physics, even if you're a art major, you think, well, I'm not going to do a whole lot of writing. You will be doing some writing at St. Mary's. So we really like to see a strong essay coming from our applicants at St. Mary's. We do put some good weight on that. We can look at test scores. I'm going to be talking about our test optional policy, but if you are taking the tests, SATs or ACTs, we accept both equally, and we super score both SATs and ACTs as well. So we don't have a preference, whichever one you are taking or again are planning to take. We do not have a preference, and again we super score both SATs and ACTs. That secondary school report, that is something that comes from a counselor at your high school. So a lot of times the student doesn't do anything with the secondary school report, but we do like to see a counselor recommendation coming with that secondary school report as well. That is the one that we do require, a counselor recommendation from your school, but we will take and read anything and everything you send to us. So again, very much holistic, that's kind of the requirements, but again, we really do look at a number of things. Again, it's not just a GPA, right? Am I in or am I out? That's really not the case at St. Mary's. We talk a lot about grade trends, meaning we like to see consistency, right? We like to see upward trends. We don't like to see downward trends, right? We want our students to be doing well in the classroom. Again, we can talk about test scores. I'm going to touch base on the test optional policy here as well, but again, we accept both equally. That's a big one. Leadership activities. Students often ask me, they say, what are you looking for? What are kind of the 2 or 3 clubs activities you love to see on an application? We don't have a preference, right? How I often phrase this to students is we want you to be involved at St. Mary's, right? We want you as an active member of our community, and we want you to manage your time well. So show me that you and your community, that you are active, that you are involved, that you can manage your time well. For some students, that's sports. For some students, that's theater. For some students, that's music. For some students, that's a job. For some students, that's maybe responsibilities at home. Either way, you are involved. Either way, you are managing your time well and showing us that you are an active and involved person in your community. So anyway, that is great to see. Like I said, we do have a really strong writing program at St. Mary's, so that essay is really important. And then again, letters of recommendation, we do require the one from a counselor, but we will take and read anything and everything that a student wants to send to us. So again, really reviewing a little bit of everything in an application. Want to see strong students throughout their 4 years of high school. Test optional. We have been test optional for the last couple of years at St. Mary's. This is nothing new to us on campus. We recognized, again, a while back that there's really strong students out there that aren't good test takers, right? You've put in 4 good years in the classroom, getting good marks in the classroom, but boy, that Saturday just didn't work out for you. That's okay. Again, we do accept test scores, SATs and ACTs, so if you are a strong test taker, that is something that's going to help your application. Great, let's see those. But again, if you're not a strong test taker, or given that it's 2020, you didn't have the opportunity to take the test. I know for a lot of students across Pennsylvania and nationwide, students really struggled to take the SATs, or certainly to take it without additional stress. And so if that was you, that is absolutely okay. This test optional route can be that route for you. Again, this is not meant to be easier or harder. We review every student the same way, whether you apply test optional or not. The answer of will I get in, you're going to get the same answer. The answer of how much scholarship am I going to get, you're going to get the same answer. So again, we built this in a way that does not help or hurt students. Rather, it's just another choice, another way to kind of individualize, again, that academic experience and that application experience. Any student, any domestic student can be test optional at St. Mary's College. We do not have any additional requirements or anything like that that we are required to go test optional. If there is some questions that we have, we may reach out to you and say, hey, tell us a little bit more about this, or ask for some additional documentation. But all you need to do is just check the box on your application that you want to be test optional, and we will respect that on your application. A little bit more about kind of value. I've mentioned scholarships once or twice throughout this presentation today. I believe we are absolutely a worthwhile investment. We recognize, first off, right, that there are cheaper schools out there. Absolutely, right? There are schools that you can go to that cost less money. There are absolutely cheaper colleges out there. But I believe we are a worthwhile investment. I believe we do provide a great value for our students. How do we do that? Financial aid, we do not require a FAFSA, but I strongly encourage every student, all families, please, 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 to submit a FAFSA. It is open if you are a senior. It is open right now, so please, if you've not already, start that process. If you're a junior, keep an eye out for next October, because that application will open up in October for you as well next year. We do have some great institutional aid that we can provide if you do submit that FAFSA in the form of grants, free money, grants from St. Mary's College. From that standpoint, of course, any state or federal aid that you may receive as well, we obviously would accept. That's need-based aid through the FAFSA. But with that initial application, so everything we were just talking about with the Common App, that holistic review process, we do have a fantastic amount of merit-based scholarships at St. Mary's College. They are purely merit-based, so you have full control, students. You have full control of what that academic scholarship is going to look like, because it's purely merit-based. We do review those applications for 2 things. Are you going to get in? And how much money are you going to get? Really straightforward and really simple financial aid process and scholarship process. No different deadlines, no new essays, no different applications to fill out, no different deadlines or boxes to click. Every student is reviewed for the maximum amount of money with her initial application. So again, try to keep it really simple, really straightforward. Try to take some of the hoops and hurdles out of that financial aid and out of that scholarship process. For this academic year, our academic scholarships start at $15,000 and go all the way up to $30,000 for our top performing students at St. Mary's. So quite a bit of funding. Again, $30,000 to $15,000 is what we're offering our students this year at St. Mary's College. And that's all locked in for all 4 years while you're at St. Mary's. You have to go to class. You have to pass your classes, right? Some academic requirements to meet once you're on campus for those to keep those funds. But we want you to keep those funds. Virtually all students do keep those funds. We want this to be affordable. We want this to be attainable for all students and all families. I mentioned that those academic scholarships, $15,000 to $30,000 per year, are locked in for 4 years. And that's all that's all you're going to need. We have a 4-year promise at St. Mary's. That is nothing new. Again, we've been doing that for a very, very long time, graduating our students on time. That's really important. You may be saying to yourself, especially maybe if you're a sophomore, junior, just kind of in your earlier stages of your college search process, isn't all college 4 years? And that's really not the case so much anymore. More and more institutions, especially larger, especially some public institutions, more and more students are not graduating in 4 years, 4.5, 5, 5.5, or even more. So again, we recognize that we're not the most affordable institution. There are cheaper schools out there. But once you take that cheaper price tag, but you add on 2, 3, 4 semesters, all of a sudden the costs get to be really comparable between St. Mary's and perhaps a cheaper but longer institution. Also, that's great from a life planning standpoint as well. So not just great from a financial planning standpoint because you have a fixed time that you're going to be on campus, but also from a life planning standpoint. If you're going to go get that MBA, you're going to go to med school, you're going to go get that great law degree, plan on it because you're going to graduate in 4 years. Simple as that. It's not a matter of if or maybe or I hope to. You will graduate in 4 years. St. Mary's College, we work really hard to make sure that our students do graduate on time. It's great students coming to St. Mary's, but great academic advising and a great campus community that's going to make sure you're going to be on pace and on path to graduate on time. Nursing, business, accounting, all of it. You will graduate with your bachelor's degree in 4 years at St. Mary's College. We're really proud of that fact. We were ranked in the top 100 for a number of different lists this year, both in affordability, the ability to turn some students' lives around and really have a great impact on students, as well as best liberal arts colleges as well. So really, again, truly kind of an award-winning, well-ranked, nationally ranked institution at St. Mary's College. But again, still providing that small school experience, really small class sizes, really great interaction with your fellow students and with your faculty members at St. Mary's. And again, when you add all that on top of the fact that what I lovingly call that other school across the street, Notre Dame and Holy Cross College, you've really got a unique environment at St. Mary's College for sure. Where do we go from here? You may hopefully enjoyed some of the things you heard today. And what I do want to do is kind of give you a little bit of homework, if I may. It's a Sunday afternoon, but if you're watching this taped, maybe you've got some other time that you can get some of these things done. Connect with us. We've got a great admission team. I am the one and only counselor for the whole state of Pennsylvania. I'm sorry. Whole state of Pennsylvania is me. So whether you are on the east side or the west side of the state, whether you're cheering for the Eagles or the Steelers, I'd love to hear from you. I really look forward to working with you at some point, whether that's this year or moving forward. We are offering virtual office hours. So if you want to see me on a small screen again, we'd be happy to connect with you over some virtual office hours. If you do want to come to campus, but you can't make it in person, we are offering virtual tours as well. Those are actually student-led, so you actually can hear from a real-life St. Mary's student and have her walk you around to the St. Mary's campus virtually. If you want to make the trip, again, either about 5 hours, 6 hours from Pittsburgh, or a little bit longer from Philly, or a flight from Philly, we are offering on-campus tours as well. So we are in person this year, have been and have plans to be in person fully in the spring semester as well. We're thankfully being able to keep our campus community safe and again are offering on-campus tours. So if you are able to make it out and do want to come visit, we'd love to have you and your family and we can do that for you at St. Mary's as well. While this video is playing, just kind of showing you some scenes of campus and kind of what our students are up to. I really just kind of want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much for allowing me to share a little bit of St. Mary's with you. I typically spend about 4 weeks a year throughout the state of Pennsylvania. I really do enjoy my time out there. It is definitely a really unique state, a really beautiful state. Hills. This time of year, I love the trees and all that kind of stuff, and I'm kind of a little bit sad that I can't get out. So please feel free to reach out to me. This truly is my job. Some families say, "Oh, I don't want to take too much of your time or anything like that." It really is my job to help make this an easy decision for you, an easier process for you. So whether you're a senior out there, whether you're a junior, whether you're a sophomore, freshman, parent, or counselor, again, my name is Alex, and please feel free to reach out to me at St. Mary's College. All of our staff, we're really excited to be working with you guys. Our director is actually from Pennsylvania. She wanted me to make sure I got the plug in, and she wanted to make sure I told you all that St. Mary said hello. So with love from our director from Pennsylvania, we really enjoyed our time today. Would love to see if you guys have any questions. And again, if there's not any questions, I'd be happy to maybe stick around for a few other moments here to see if we can get some other questions. But otherwise, again, my name is Alex Bauer from St. Mary's College here in beautiful Notre Dame, Indiana. And I look forward to connecting with you either today on the chat or at some point in the near future on a virtual or perhaps in-person visit someday soon. So thank you so much, and we'll see if any questions come in. Thank you.
Alex,
Mary, I don't see any questions.
what a beautiful college campus you have. I have to admit, I'm ready to visit myself. Thank you for sharing all of it with us. That was great. And for all of those of you who are watching this at home, I will conclude by thanking you for joining us. Just some final remarks. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, this was just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at pacac.org. In about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording, as well as all of the other session recordings at pacac.org. Thank you so much once again to Alex. Any last comments or thoughts?
Enjoy the fall and stay safe this fall, and come visit us either virtually or in person. Good luck, everyone.
Wonderful. Thanks again to Alex, and thank you everyone for watching this video. Have a wonderful rest of the day.